let's talk about structuring the sales force, how the sales force structure is being made in organizations, right? Now, understanding the sales force. The sales force is the employee force of the organization that is responsible for selling the products and services of that organization. These are the main people who play a very crucial role in the market, from the organizations to the customers. These are the direct related people to the customers. So, they play a very important role for the organization. Now, it will not be wrong to say that the sales force is like the eyes and ears of the company, as they get in direct contact with the customers on daily basis. It is really important for them to keep in touch with the customers, right? They know the pulse of the customers and could assist the companies to adjust their offerings accordingly. So, they know how customers behave, how to attain or get their attention, how are their desires or needs of that people in the market, and accordingly they can give the offerings, accordingly they can approach the customers for the products, right? They listen to customers' problems and offer possible solutions, right? They listen to what customers are saying, what is being required, what is there in the product, what shouldn't be there in the product, or etc. And likewise, according to their problems, the solution, the possible solutions are being offered by the sales people, right? The sales force job is to make the complex buying process a lot more easier for the customers when there are too many options for anyone to choose from. As you see, the market these days is really very huge and we have a lot of alternatives for every product, right? So, it's a complex process for the customers to choose from the lot of best products which are available. So, these sales force people make this job much more easier for customers, right? For example, let's understand this with the Airbus is an aeroplane manufacturing company. It's a business involves B2B, that is business to business sales. The sales force works closely with the clients to ensure the specific needs are taken care of, right? When we are boarding the flight or when we are boarding the bus or etc., sales force people are the first persons who help us to get our desired needs, like window seats are there, or older people seats are there, or children seats are there. We specify them that these are the requirements, can we fulfill them? And the sales force people work really hard to give us as much as possible, as much as help required. This helps the company to fulfill the requirements of its clients effectively. For every product what we are talking about, not just the boarding aeroplane or the bus or etc., for every product what you see, the sales force people are the first hand people, those who keep in touch with the customers and help them to select the right product for them, right? Now, let's talk about the determinants of selling process. So, there are a lot of factors which affect the selling process of any product. First thing is the quality of the product. So, whatsoever we are on, whatsoever era we belong to, all of us as in customers want a best quality product for a very cheaper rates or very minimum rate possible, right? All of us as in customers require this. So, quality of the product plays a very important role. Whatsoever is the product, but quality assures or quality ensures that they will retain to that product for a longer time. Second is pricing of the product. If we have checked with MRPs or etc., that will be made more affordable. Every product what you see in the market comes in different sizes, guys, that every levels of people, every financial levels of people will be able to afford that, they should be able to go through. We see the sachets, guys, right? We see the very minimum cost sachets to very big bottles of shampoos these days, so that every customer should be able to afford that, right? So, the pricing of the product is really important, right? For selling the product, it's important for them to work on pricing. Third is the customer care services. As we bring on the products, guys, it's really important for them to work on after sales services, right? For example, we talk about refrigerators, we talk about ACs, right? In these cases, refrigerators and ACs are bought in a decade, once in a decade, right? But then we work on how much guarantee or warranty is being given by the company. We all as in customers check for the guarantees and warranties of it, right? How many times or how much time will it take for a customer service center to come and repair the ACs or fridges? What customer looks in. Apart from the price and quality, after sales services play a very, very important role for the organization. Next, talking about the quality of salespersons, right? Salespeople. In what way, in what approach, or in what presentation the salespersons are giving, that is the amount of products which will be sold in the market. Next, the budget for the sales activities. What is the different budget released by particular organization for that sales activities which takes place, right? In what way, in what approach the salesperson goes, that all depends on what amount of budget that is released by the organizations. Next is the lack of enough employees. Now, how many number of sales people should be there in an organization? It is $1 million question for every organization, right? So there should not be very less number of employees, or nor more very surplus amount of the salesperson which should be available. There should be just enough number of sales employees who should be there. Next is the lack of collaboration across the departments. Now we get to see a lot of miscommunications happening, a lot of mishaps happening in the organization. That is just because of the different departments don't collaborate each other. Now marketing team should be in collaboration with sales one, right? HR team should be in collaboration with sales team, right? Financial team should be in collaboration with sales team. If any of these is missing, any of these miscommunications happen, obvious there should be a problem to the organization. Next is market forces, right? Now there are different competitors in the market. Whatsoever product it is, we have n number of competitors already available. Before the product is being launched properly into the market, we have the duplicate product available already. So these type of market forces should be taken care. The competitive advantage, the unique features of the product should be retained, right? Now let's talk about the objectives of Salesforce. Now Salesforce will have one or more of the following tasks to do. It's not just selling the product, it is all about different tasks what a salesperson have to go through. First is prospecting. Prospecting is search for the leads. Who are the right target, right? Which age group will be my product customers? Which age group should I focus on? Are the old people who are going to use my product, or are the next generations I have to enhance for? There's always a betterment or always a search for the leads. They have to look for the prospects. Second is targeting, right? They have to allocate time between the prospects and the customers. They have to try impressing new customers, new prospects coming into the market, and they also have to work on retaining the older customers, right? They have to allocate time for the new prospects as well as the old customers. Third is communicating, right? It is the salesperson who gives the information about the company as well as the product to the consumer. Apart from the internet world nowadays, or the social media nowadays, it's a salesperson who gives the information saying these organization works on so and so, this is the requirement, this is a product, this is a desire, right? So the communication is really very important. The information flows from the organization to salesperson to the customers about the company as well as the products. Next, coming to selling. Selling is approach, the presentation, right, of the sales force. The salesperson who is there, he should have the right approach, right? He should have a presentation skill. They should be nice enough, convincing skills, right? Communication skills, soft skills, etc. They should be able to answer the objections of the customers also. There are a number of customers who has the questions saying why should we be using those so and so, why should we get into all this, or etc. So they should be patiently answering the objections from the customers as well. And next is to close that sale. They should be able to get that customer buy something, buy their product for sure, right? Next is servicing, right? The consulting aspect, as we already spoke about, the after sale services of some product, right? The technical aspect of it, what is required, what is the installation, right? How to start, what to do, the manuals, etc. The technical aspect of it, the financial aspect of it, etc. should be taken care, right? Next is information gathering. of market research, right? As we spoke about it, the field, the nowadays market which is available, what type of different markets are being there, what are new trend. Next is allocating, right? The scarce product which is there, that should go to customers, allocating the scarce products to the particular customer who desires it, who actually wants it. These are the different objectives of salesforce. There are many more objectives or many more tasks what a salesperson does, these being the prominent ones. Next, let's talk about the sales policies. A sales policy is a systematic process of developing, coordinating, monitoring and various decisions that have a direct bearing with the company's sales, right? These are the legal things, legal documentation things that they have to take care of. The objective of such policies is to furnish effective guidelines for the corporate efforts to optimize the customer satisfaction, besides stimulating the company's profitability and competitive strength. The sales executive must be aware of three types of sales related policies, which are pricing related policies, right? How MRP is it being done? Is it same in the different states or inclusive of the taxes, exclusive of the taxes, etc. All these policies should be taken care, right? Next are distribution related policies, the transportation things, different state transport, different state tax, what is being applied, the distribution in right time to right place, right? And next, the product related policies, what type of product it is, where it should go and what codes they are, how it is being certified, is it ISI certified or not, is it going to the right place, is it going for the right purpose or not, right? All these policies should be taken care by the sales force, the sales force policies. Next, talking about the sales force turnover, as we spoke about the attrition rate, sales force turnover rate. Sales force turnover refers to the percentage of total sales employees who left the organization during the past year, whether voluntarily or involuntarily. Either they have been leaving the organization because they of their own reasons, or been forcefully removed or terminated by the organizations themselves because of the not adhering their policies or etc. Either it is voluntarily or involuntarily, the turnover rates are really very high in sales department. If you see the statistics which are being given here of different industries, we see the turnover rates, right? There are construction organizations, office equipments. If you see retail and wholesale, wherein the sales force works really very well or very prominent, here we see 51% of the turnover rate. It's really high when compared to other industries. Retail and wholesale organizations face the more attrition rate in these sales force things, right? So it's really important to keep up the sales force persons with us in the same organization for a long time. It will create lot of quality. If an experienced sales force person is there, it will obviously render towards the profitability of the organization. However, we get to see a very high rate of attrition, a very high rate of turnover rates here in this industry, right? Next, talking about determining the size of the sales force, right? Sales force size, that is number of salesmen, is determined by dividing total workload. Workload is, let's understand there is a calling system, and workload is about the calls or making the sales. By average number of calls a salesman can make in an year. If you take a time period of 1 year, right, how many number of calls or how many number of sales a salesperson will be able to do in an year, right? Now this may range from only few, right, to thousands, depending on the requirement of the organization, depending on the product line. A vast product line of the organization requires a huge salesman. Like we talk about Amul has a different product line, lot number of products which are there in that product line, so it requires lot of salesperson to sell the products. Or very small organizations, especially like startup organizations or product based organizations which have just started in the market, requires a very few number of sales force. Next is companies may use the workload approach to set the sales force size. Right, they might divide, they can take this as a workload as one of the tool and divide how workload into different aspects and see how many number of sales force people are required for that organization in that year. Right, now accounts are grouped into sales force size, account status and other factors. They have been grouped into different accounts and see what number of sales force are required. Determine number of calls a representative can make in an year. How many number of calls, how many number of sales and representative can make in an year, that is very prominent. So they have to discuss in these terms. Next, workload divided by representatives call per year is equals to number of representatives needed. The workload, I mean number of calls made, number of sales required or number of sales which are done by an year is a workload. If you divide that per year, you will be able to get how many number of sales force people are required for that organization. Right. Next, let's talk about the qualities of good sales executives. Right, now successful sales executives are patient and aggressive go-getters who know how to communicate and convince potential clients or customers. So these people, the sales force, successful sales executives always are patient enough to convince the customers to get their product. Right, they are aggressive go-getters. They should be able to go get the deal done, get that sale done with all their potentials, all their convincing skills towards the clients as well as the customers. Right, now good sales executives are expected to be really persistent. Persistence in sense, they should be able to do with same motivation, they should be able to do the job on daily basis. On daily basis, they have to get up with the same enthusiasm and start fresh saying, this is my target, they have to close down these sales. Right, you have to attract so and so customers, you have to retain the older customers, attract new customers for sure. This persistence is required on daily basis. Second is a goal setter. The sales force person or sales executive should be a goal setter. They should finish, they should fix their own targets for a day, for a month, for a trimester, for a semester, saying this is what I reach to. Right, end of the day I should have so and so customers, I should be dealing with so and so sales. Right, so they should be a goal setter. Next is passionate enough. Sales job, as already been discussed guys, sales job is really crucial. They should be able to convince customers. Convincing people is an art. Right, talking to people, getting them to our note, understand, make them understand our own product and get them used to that product is really an art. So they should be passionate enough about this work which they do on daily basis. They should be enthusiastic. Right, on daily basis, if you have to sell the same things, same work which is being done, then this should be the person should be really enthusiastic and motivated all the time. Right, next, taking responsibility for their results. The person, whatsoever is the result, if it is the credit which is being given, they should be able to take that credit, and if it is the loss, if it is the debit also, they should be able to take that responsibility of whatsoever result it is. They cannot deny, they cannot pretend, they cannot do this blame game. They should be able to take the entire responsibility of whatsoever result it is. Right, next, work hard. Obvious, on daily basis if you have to sell something, there requires a lot of hard work as well as smart work to convince people. Next, to keep in touch with the clients. It is always required. If you see for the examples guys, as many number of calls we get in a day. Right, bank people are calling us for credit cards, debit cards, n number of customer related calls is what we get. What are these people doing on daily basis? They are keeping in touch with their clients. Right, now next is show the value and output at end of the day. Right, towards the organization, they have to show the value for whatsoever they have been appointed. They should prove themselves as an asset to the organization. Right, now let's understand the sales organization structure. Now sales organization structure refers to the segmentation of sales team into the specialized group. They are being grouped into different segments so as to take the responsibilities properly. right? There are different steps which are involved in organization structure. First being defining the objective. What are the objectives of the sales organization? What are they up to? What is their mission? What is their vision? Right? So that should be defined. The objectives should be defined really very clearly. Second, determination of activities and their volume of performance. What different activities they are requiring, what different activities are there in the organization, and what are the volume of performance, how much is their expectation, right, of the performance. That should be determined properly. Third, grouping activities into positions. Now, when they are determining the objectives and the volume, they should be able to divide these activities into different positions, comparing to based on the geography or based on the product or etc. They should be able to divide these activities into different positions, right? Now, these should next coming to assigning the personnel to that position. When the positions are defined, right, we should be able to assign person to it, right, the salesperson to it, that this position for this person, the right job for the right people, according to their skills, according to their behavior, according to their experience, these positions will be given, the assignment of the personnel to the positions. Next is provisions of coordination and control. There should be a provision for coordination and control over the employees, right? These are the steps involved in sales organization structure, right? Now, there are different types of sales organization structures. There are 4 basic types of sales organization structures. Let's see each one of these. There are 4, which the first one being the line organization structure. Next, line and staff organization structure. Next is functional organization structure, and last is horizontal organization structure. Let us see each one of them in detail. Now, line organization structure. It is all the managers have line authority to direct and control the subordinates. In this structure, wherein the all managers have the line authority, that is the authority, the power to direct and control their subordinates. It is mostly used in small firms when you have the managers and the employees working under them. So, the overall control of decision making etc. lies with the line manager. Right. Now, the advantages of it is a simple organization structure. It is really very clear, right, clear authority, right. The only managers will be able to take decisions and give the information to rest subordinates. Next, quick decisions can be taken and it is very low cost, right. Now, talking about the disadvantages of this structure is no support to the line managers. He is the only one who is taking care of the decisions etc. from the subordinates who have specialized knowledge, skills, less time for planning and analysis. It takes really very less time to plan and analyze, right. Next, talking about line and staff organization. The next organization structure is line and staff organization structure. If you see the image around, it says specialist staff managers are available for senior marketing sales managers. Staff managers roles assist and advise line managers used in medium and large size organizations. It's really important. I mean, it works in hierarchy, right. All the managers have their staff managers above them, those who are controlling, right. The advantages being the better marketing decisions and superior sales performance will be seen, right. The disadvantages are really high cost because there are n number of managers who are supposed to be appointed, and the coordination, slower decision making because lot of people those who are involved, n number of managers, right, area sales manager 1, that area sales manager 2, like that. So, it should be n number of people those who work in this hierarchy. So, the decision making becomes bit slower and conflict may arise if the staff manager role is not clear, right. They might involve into too many definitions, too many decisions makings, when there is a probability of conflicts arising. Third being the functional organization structure. Here, each functional specialist has a line responsibility over salespeople used by large firms with many products. market segments, minimizing the line authority to the functional managers. Here each department is different, each function is different. If you talk about marketing, they have the marketing research manager, they have sales manager, they have promotional managers and customer service manager. There are n number of managers for different functions. If there is anything about market research, that manager will take care and that decision will be taken by them, right? If there are about sales, then sales managers will take care about the decision making and the information which is passed, right? Next coming, the promotional manager has his own rights, right? Customer service manager has his own powers. Now all these people will be taking different functions decisions, so it's easy, right? The advantages are qualified specialist guide, Salesforce simple to administer, right? It is easy when you have the specialist for everything. Like when you're talking about promotions, then there is a manager available, the specialized person, the skillful person who's sitting there, who can give you the advices, who can give you what to do in the market, etc. If you're talking about customer service, there's a manager who can give you the understanding of different things, right? Now disadvantage is about confusion due to more number of managers given orders to Salesforce, right? Obvious, when there are two different managers for each function, the Salesforce people get bit deviated or confused because of the authority which is run, or because of the orders given by different managers to the Salesforce. Next, talking about horizontal organization structure. Here it removes the management levels. There's no such hierarchical things what we have seen previously. There is no hierarchy at all. And departmental boundaries, there are no departmental boundaries or functions that this department or that department. Except the planning team, all other members of the cross-functional teams used by the firms having partnering relationships with the customers. If you see the image around, right, only planning team is in between, and all other departments, all other members are supposed to work cross-functionally in relation with each other. They have to give and take the information, they have to disseminate their knowledge, they have to give the information about each and everything to each other departments. Unless the planning team, remaining all are supposed to work cross-functionally. Now the advantages of it is it reduces the supervision, right? Reduction in the supervision, that there is key monitoring in all other three structures what we have seen. Here it is really easy for the departments to work properly as they have not much of the supervision. Second, unnecessary task and cost, right? This reduces unnecessary tasks which have been done, repetitive tasks, duplicated tasks reduction, and then it reduces the cost as well. And then improved efficiency and customer responses. Once there is no collision in between the department, once there is no confusion between the departments as well as the sales people, there is an improved efficiency as well as the customer responses, right? These four being the organization's structure: line organization structure, line and staff, functional organization structure, and horizontal organizational structure, right? Now let's talk about the importance of sales organization. The sales organization has an important place in the business. It undertakes effective marketing of products. It ensures the timely distribution of goods. It helps to create the demand pattern for the products, right? Now the first thing they do is promotes specialization. The suitable person are appointed to handle their respective activities, right? The first thing is they create that specialization. Thus, right person performs the right job, right? Facilitates coordination, right? Facilitates timely contact with the customers, increases efficiency and proper attention towards all the activities. These are the importance of sales organization, right? Now sales force structure. Let's talk about sales force structure. Here they have been divided into four: territorial, product, customer and complex. Territorial, each sales representative gets a own piece of land to work equally divided by the workload or potential, result in no customer confusion as to who the representative is. They have been given the given areas. Now if you see, Hyderabad is being divided into different areas, Mehendipatnam, Amirpet, Kukatpalli, like that. So each representative will be given certain amount or piece of land to take care of. They are accountable for that area sales. Next is product. Sales force sells along the product line. What all comes into the product line of that organization, sales force works on that. Next is customer. Right, sales force sells along customer or industry lines. What type of customers, which type of customers they have to sell to, or etc. Next is complex, which is combination of both. They work on the product as well as the customers putting together, which is a complex process. They have to look into what type of products as well as what type of customers they look.